Hello, everyone. Welcome or welcome back to another episode of the Brilliant Professor-ish Life Unleashed and Life Unscripted series. Today, we are diving into the inspiring world of Tina Turner. May she rest in power, as we explore the life lessons we can extract from her 2021 documentary simply titled Tina. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification button, and leave your comments and thoughts below. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and leave your comments and thoughts below. We love hearing from our amazing community of viewers, and remember, we can ignite a conversation and inspire each other to embrace uniqueness and lean into the power of reinvention. Together, we can create positive change in our lives and in the world. Be sure to check out the corresponding blog post for the show notes and additional highlights. The information will be in the description box below. As you may recall, if you watched the previous episodes or if you're new for this series, just know that this will not be a review or reaction to the actual documentary. As a life coach and educator, I love using practical examples to make points, and documentaries and true life movies are perfect for doing this. Now, there are a few versions of Tina's documentary on HBO and Roku, so go check them out if you are able to do so. So prepare to be empowered, entertained, and challenged as we uncover some key takeaways from this remarkable woman's journey. So let's get started. So I've watched all of Tina's documentaries before she passed away. One of my coaches talked about visiting, like, I think the Wax Museum or something like that. And when I heard about it, it became an obsession, and I watched all things Tina at that time. I remember watching Tina Turner and listening to her records at my grandparents' house, actually. My mom was also a big fan of hers. And as I got older, the only things I remembered about her was from the movie What's Love Got to Do with It, starring Angela Bassett, and the phrase "eat the cake" anime. And the crazy thing is that she wasn't even the Tina Turner in those early years. And I think we forget that she became a megastar and icon years after she separated from Ike. But that cloud would remain with her until her death, and that's unfortunate. And in one of the documentaries, she talked about her regret of telling that story. Not that she was ashamed, but she didn't realize the impact it would have on her life. She wrote the book as a once and for all moment, but no matter where she went, people always wanted to talk about the abuse. And I don't know about you, but I don't like to talk about things that people remind me of, especially if they come from dark moments of my life when I have clearly moved on and shined in so many other areas. But we're going to talk about some additional high-level takeaways that I hope inspire you, provide value, and possibly challenge your thinking, all based on the life of Tina Turner. So we're going to talk about this first life point about resilience triumphs over adversity. So Tina Turner's life is a testament to the indomitable spirit of resilience. Have you noticed a trend from our last episodes? Resilience is always going to be one of these key points. So despite enduring immense hardship and a tumultuous marriage to facing abuse and discrimination, Tina never allowed herself to be defined by her circumstances, even when people tried to create their own narrative of her. That took a lot of courage, especially when you have to tell people you don't want to talk about something in front of thousands of people, like she did on several interviews. And instead, she harnessed her inner strength, reclaimed her identity, and rose above the challenges she faced. Her unwavering determination to rebuild her life serves as a powerful reminder that we too can overcome adversity with resilience. So have you ever had to do something like this before, perhaps at work, with your family, or in social circles? I want you to think about that. Like, we look at these celebrities and we judge, or we say, well, I could never. But you'll be surprised that if you take the time to reevaluate your own life, you've been able to do some things like this as well. In our daily lives, it's easy to get caught up in the belief that our circumstances define us. We may feel limited by our past, our environment, or the challenges we face. And it's easy to fall into this trap because our circumstances are very real in this 3D reality. Like, reach out and touch us, you know? And it's like saying, don't let the fire burn you while you stand in the middle of it. But unless you're like the three Hebrew boys, you will get burnt, right? I'm being a little funny here, but I totally get it. And I also don't want to come off like these cliches are easy to follow. However, Tina Turner's story challenges this notion by reminding us that resilience is a choice. It's about recognizing that setbacks and obstacles are inevitable, but it's our response to them that truly matters. So, like I do always in these series, I do invite you to embrace a mindset shift. Instead of seeing adversity as something that holds you back, see it as an opportunity for growth and resilience. And ask yourself, how can I turn my challenges into stepping stones towards my goals? But I do want to caution you, if you ever choose to ignore the importance of resilience and succumb to victimhood or a defeatist mindset when faced with challenges, you risk becoming stagnant in your personal growth. By refusing to confront adversity head on, we deny ourselves the opportunity to develop resilience, learn valuable lessons, and ultimately overcome obstacles. This can lead to a sense of powerlessness, missed opportunities, and a life that feels unfulfilled. And if you're tired of hearing me say unfulfilled, let's just put it plainly. You feel stuck, right? So, moving on to our next life point, embracing self-discovery and reinvention. One of the most inspiring aspects of Tina Turner's story is her ability to rediscover herself and reinvent her career. She bravely stepped out of her comfort zone, leaving behind a successful partnership to embark on a solo career that ultimately catapulted her to even greater heights. Now, although she had success with Ike, did you know that she didn't really hit it big as a solo artist until the age of 40? Now, I work with a lot of clients who are in some sort of life transition and they feel like it's too late to start something new. And I have to remind them, just like my coaches reminded me, that we are not starting over and we've been putting in the work while we were in those 10, 15, or even 20-year careers or businesses. But social media and the influencer era has a lot of us thinking that we've missed the opportunities or we came too late or that the market is saturated or that the only way to make it big in social media world is to do pranks or dance on TikTok. But that's not really true. No one has your special combination of skills, talents, and gifts. So if you want it, go after it. And Tina did just that. She went from R&B to rock and roll, which really wasn't a popular move for a middle-aged Black woman at the time. And those were her words in the documentary, not mine, because to me, 40 is not middle age. I'm just saying. So Tina's journey highlights the importance of embracing change, taking risks, and being willing to explore new paths in our own lives. Sometimes it's necessary to shed old identities and create new ones to unlock our true potential. We often get comfortable in our routines and fear venturing into the unknown. Although we've done this before, especially if you went to college or had a similar experience, or if you ever changed jobs. But for some reason, we act brand new the older we get. I shared this in another episode. It's probably because we think we have more to lose if we take more risk at this point. In Tina Turner's journey, however, we should look at this because she challenges us to embrace self-discovery and reinvention, just like some of the others in our previous episodes. And if you have not gone to watch or listen, be sure to do that. But it's easy to settle for what's familiar and safe. But true growth and transformation lie just outside of our comfort zones. So I invite you to take a moment to reflect on areas of your life where you may have been clinging on to what's familiar. How can you step into the unknown and explore new possibilities? Embrace the idea that change is not only inevitable, but also an opportunity for personal evolution and personal mastery. On the other side of this, when we resist self-discovery and shy away from reinventing ourselves, we may find ourselves trapped into a cycle of mediocrity and complacency. However, as top performers, it's easier to hide our mediocrity because it still looks extraordinary to so many other people. This is where you have to be honest with yourself and hire a coach who isn't afraid to stretch you or challenge you to reach your true greatness. By clinging to what's familiar and comfortable, we deny ourselves the chance to explore our true passions and unlock our full potential. This can result in a lack of personal fulfillment, unfulfilled and unmet dreams, and a sense of regret for not having taken the leap into the unknown. Our next life point, owning your narrative. In Tina, the documentary, we witness Tina Turner reclaiming her narrative and asserting her own truth. She candidly shares her experiences, both the triumphs and the struggles, and refuses to be defined solely by the negative aspects of her past, the abuse that people always wanted to bring up. This serves as a powerful reminder that we have the power to shape our own stories, to reclaim our voice, and to rewrite the narratives that no longer serves us. By owning our stories, we gain agency over our lives and can inspire others in the process. I personally didn't know I was holding on to old narratives until I stepped out to do something new. It's like discovering new muscles you didn't know existed when you either first started working out or trying a different program. Many times we operate under outdated narratives without even realizing it, and we tend to go with the flow based on the lanes created by other people. We live in a world that often tries to define us based on external factors and judgments. However, Tina Turner's story challenged us to take ownership of our own narrative. I was just in this situation like not too long ago, and I had to make a choice for myself. It's time to let go of the need for external validation and embrace our unique experiences and perspectives. If we continue to allow people to treat us a certain way or stay in certain groups, we have to be real and ask ourselves if we're only staying because of the validation it provides on some level. For me, I answered yes. And that's when I knew I had to make a decision because that was out of alignment with my authentic self. I knew that I was only sticking around because of what I thought this group would bring me, even though I no longer felt that it served me or I was serving it. So I challenge you to question the stories you tell yourself and others about who you are. Are you allowing others to define you? Are you asserting your own truth? Are you holding on to something that no longer serves you? Remember, your story is yours to tell, and it is your story to shape and share with the world. So don't let others do that for you. But if we allow others to define our narratives and dictate our self-worth, we relinquish our power and our authenticity. By neglecting to assert our own truth, we become vulnerable, and not the good vulnerable, to the judgments and expectations of other people, which can lead to a loss of self-identity, a diminished self-esteem, and a constant struggle to meet notice external standards. Without owning your narrative, you risk living a life that is incongruent with your true self, and that leads to dissatisfaction and, of course, a lack of fulfillment. Moving into our next life point, the healing power of forgiveness. Forgiveness played a significant role in Tina Turner's journey. Despite the pain inflicted upon her, she demonstrated an incredible capacity to forgive both herself and for those who hurt her. The act of forgiveness allowed her to break free from the shackles of resentment and find inner peace. It reminds us that forgiveness is not about condoning, but about freeing ourselves from the burden of carrying past wounds. I know some people like to say, I'll forgive you, but I won't forget. But it doesn't work that way on a deeper level. But hear me out, because I know some people are doing some eye rolls right now. So I want you to just hear me out. And I'm also talking to myself. So I'm not just talking at you. This is for me as well. Biblically, if you believe in the Bible, God forgives us. And when he does that, he casts our sins into the sea of forgetfulness. And he has removed our transgressions from us as far as the east is from the west. So there's no record of our wrongdoings in his eyes. And he expects us to do the same. By embracing forgiveness, we can experience profound healing and liberation. Now, I know you said that's easier said than done. But if you think about you want healing and liberation, pick one. Pick a side, right? And if you know that's on the other side, go ahead and do the forgiving and the forgetting. So forgiveness is a concept that can be challenging for many of us. We may hold on to grudges, harbor resentment, and allow past hurts to dictate our present. Tina Turner's ability to forgive reminds us that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but an act of strength. But here's the thing. People forget to mention that the process of forgiveness is not a one and done thing. You may have to tell yourself every day, every hour, or every minute that you are forgiving the person and releasing them from that room they rent in your head and in your heart. It is a constant choice that's only complete when you no longer feel that quote unquote thing. When you hear their name, you see them, or you come across something that reminds you of them. I challenge you to explore forgiveness in your own life. Is there someone you need to forgive? Can you find it within yourself to forgive even yourself for your past mistakes? If not, think about someone not forgiving you for something that you did. Understand that forgiveness is a journey and is not about condoning actions, but about freeing yourself from the emotional weight that holds you back. If you didn't know this, unforgiveness is a blessing blocker. When we refuse to embrace forgiveness, we carry the weight of past hurts, resentments, and grudges. This can lead to a perpetual state of anger, bitterness, and emotional turmoil. By holding on to these negative emotions, we rob ourselves of inner peace. We hamper our personal growth and hinder our ability to form meaningful connections with others. Ultimately, the lack of forgiveness can result in a life consumed by negativity and a perpetuation of pain. Think of all the things we miss out on because we're holding grudges and harboring unforgiveness. You may say, it's cool. You don't like being around people anyway. But understand this. When you are holding on to unforgiveness, it eats away at you and starts giving off this negative energy that starts to repel opportunities. I can literally pinpoint times in my own life where I held on to a grudge in one area and missed an opportunity in another area that was completely unrelated. God works in mysterious ways, and the universe is designed to bend towards our most dominant frequency, which is often unconscious to us. I won't get into all of that on this episode, but this is the point. Go ahead and clear up whatever you need to clear up and stop waiting on closure or the opportunity to see the person in order to forgive and forget. You can release without seeing, trust me. And this goes for people who have passed away as well. When Tina released Ike, like through forgiveness and forgetting all the things, and again, it's in her memory, but she didn't hold him hostage for those things, and the other managers who did her wrong, she received blessings and success beyond what she could even imagine for herself. And she had a pretty big vision. So imagine that you have this vision for your life, and the moment that you truly forgive, things will start opening up beyond the vision that you have for yourself. Our final life point, we talk about pursuit of happiness and authenticity. Through her music and performances, Tina Turner embodies joy and authenticity. Her electrifying stage presence and undeniable passion showcase the transformative power of doing what you love and being true to yourself. Tina's story encourages us to find our own passions, to pursue them relentlessly, and to infuse every aspect of our lives with authenticity. When we align our actions with our true selves, we invite happiness to enter into our lives. Sometimes this can be challenging to look at the lives of entertainers and learn lessons from them because we think what they do is easy, like, well, all they do is sing or dance. Or we don't look at what they do as a profession. Sometimes creatives are not viewed as professionals, but that's not true. Many of them put in the same hours of honing their crafts, just like a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, an engineer, or insert whatever, and perhaps even more. Michael Jackson would spend 16-hour days in the studio at times. And then here, many of us we complain about working 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or whatever your time period of working is. So imagine if we were able to spend that much time honing our crafts or working on what truly brought us joy or something that fully aligned with who we were at our core. Would you do it? Now, for the people who still aren't convinced that they can follow their pursuit of happiness because they aren't quote unquote creatives, hold on, I got you. All right. So not too long ago, I was able to sit in a virtual masterclass with a billionaire. And yes, that's B, not an M, B for billionaire, who runs some sort of biotech medical company. And listening to him nerd out on human genomes and gut health and whatever else he was talking about, it got him so excited and he forgot he was talking to us for a moment. He was literally talking to himself. And you could see the passion and joy that he got from doing his work. He also stated that he still works 15-hour days because he just loves what he does. Now, he may not do that every day, but he still puts in that much time and he doesn't have to work. Now, I'm not saying you need to do this because his mentee, who was leading the masterclass, whose company had just hit $100 million in revenue, he said he only works 21 hours a week. So it's really not the hours that we put in, but it's all about being happy and authentic. The billionaire told us not to chase the idea of building a multi-million or multi-billion dollar company. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, find out how to make a million or a billion people happy using your unique gifts and talents, and the money will follow. Society often places expectations and pressures us, nudging us to conform and fit into predetermined molds. Tina Turner, however, challenged us to reject those notions and embrace our authentic selves. I invite you, as always, to reflect on the areas of your life where you may be compromising your true desires and passions for the sake of societal approval. Are you pursuing a career, a relationship, or a lifestyle that aligns with your authentic self? Be honest. Dare to break free from expectations and pursue what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. Here's a real life example. Many people know that I have a strong background in education. Got 5 degrees, all related to this area in some kind of way. Well, my name was mentioned to help someone who is well known and famous with their nonprofit that focuses on helping teens. Now, while I'm grateful that my name was mentioned for this role and I know that I would do an amazing job, I told the person who came to me about the opportunity that I would have to decline. In this season, it doesn't align with what I'm being led to do now at this moment. We have to be careful not to get distracted in our pursuit of someone we admire or because we want to give back or whatever the reason. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. This is why happiness and authenticity are together in this section. Now, would it bring me joy working with the kids? Absolutely. I used to do that type of work. However, I wouldn't be happy because I know that there was something else I should be focusing on at the time, and I would be out of alignment with my true self. And yes, that was a tough decision. Well, not really a tough decision now at this point because I've been doing the work on myself, but I remember there were times I used to struggle like, but I could do it, or there were times when I actually did do it and then I felt this instant, I could be putting that energy on what I'm supposed to do. So just remember, sometimes good things can also be distractions as well. So if you choose to ignore your own desires and conform to societal expectations or the expectations of helping and serving, people with good causes, we may find ourselves living a life that feels hollow and unfulfilled. Even if we feel just a little bit of joy in that moment, we're thinking long term, okay? By sacrificing your authentic selves to meet external standards, we lose touch with our passions, joys, and true purpose. And this can lead to a profound sense of emptiness, lack of fulfillment. And I know you all keep saying that, but how many people still feel like, is there something more? I want more. It's because you're not fulfilled. So you'll keep hearing me say that. But it'll also lead to constant longing for something more. All right. So that was a little intense. So let's breathe. Inhale. Whew, exhale. So I hope you're still with me, all right? So those are just a few of the many invaluable lessons we can glean from Tina Turner's extraordinary life. And I urge you to go watch the documentary Tina for yourselves and explore the nuances of her story. Remember, it's in the stories of others that we often find inspiration and wisdom to navigate our own lives. By challenging our thinking in these areas, we can break free from limiting or outdated beliefs, societal norms, and self-imposed barriers. Embracing resilience, self-discovery, ownership, forgiveness, and authenticity can lead us to a more empowered and fulfilling life. Remember, personal growth and transformation often happen when we step outside of our comfort zones and challenge the status quo. I encourage you to reflect on these points and take inspired action in your own lives. Embrace the challenges, question the norms, and forge your own path towards the life that truly reflects your authentic self. Together, let's create a world where we celebrate individuality and empower each other to reach their fullest potential. However, By ignoring or being unwilling to address these 5 life points can result in a life that feels stagnant and disconnected from our true selves. It can lead to missed opportunities, regrets, and a perpetual cycle of unhappiness. By confronting these points head on and actively integrating them into our lives, we open ourselves up for growth, transformation, and a deeper sense of purpose. Remember, it's through addressing these challenging aspects that we can truly unleash our potential and create a life that aligns with our authentic selves. Keep embracing life challenges, unleashing your true potential, and always remember that you have the power to create the life you truly desire. Now stay tuned for more thought-provoking episodes. I can't wait to hear from you. Keep living life unscripted and unleashed. And remember, your unique spark is the igniter to someone else's fire. And above all, remember to be well, to be empowered, be bold, and be brilliant. Until next time, bye.